Okay, hello. My name's Randall, and is it okay if I do this in English?
Yeah.
I ask this every time, and some people say no, and I still do it in English. So I ask, but I always do it in English. Randall Birnberg, I'm from Chicago. Who knows me here? Who has been to these things before? I've been here, this is my third or fourth time on this stage, and I'm very, very happy to be here. They asked me to come back. I love the stage. I love being on stage. It's my strength. And we're going to talk a little bit about strengths tonight. We're going to talk about a lot of things. And the first thing I want to take you to look at is this: it's your choice. All that I say tonight is your choice of how you take it and walk out that door. Okay? We're going to talk a lot about positive emotions, and when we have positive emotions, what it does to us. Okay? I want you to first do a little exercise, a little übung. I want you to think how happy you are right now. On a scale from 1 to 10, you don't have to say it. Just think of a number from 1 to 10, how happy you are right now. Everybody have a number in their head? Good. Now, I want you to think about how happy everyone else is. Another number in your head. Everyone else but you. Everyone.
In this room or
everybody. Everyone else, the public. Okay? You have two numbers. Those of you who have the second number lower than the first, raise your hand. That's weird, isn't it? Why do you think you're happier than everyone else?
Because I see the faces.
Out there.
Out there.
There. Yeah, okay, but it's really interesting is that if this is part of positive psychology. When we do something wrong on the highway, it was a simple mistake. When someone else does something wrong on the highway, they're an idiot! Okay? So we always kind of project the stories on other going out. This is a part of positive psychology. Okay? So the next time, this is your first lesson today. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for 26 years. So the next time someone else does something wrong on the highway, just go, oh, I could have done that too. Okay? That's it. And then it's over. You won't get angry. Oh yeah, I've done that before. Okay? You're driving and somebody goes through the red light. You've never gone through a red light. Never. So go, okay, I know why he's going to the red light. He's late for his picking up his daughter. Right? So, this is a little bit of Achtsamkeit. A little bit of self-reflection. All right? So this is your first task. All right. I could talk. 20 minutes is not a lot of time, so I'm going to go through this real quick. 20 minutes usually takes me to say my first name. So. Okay. Like I said, I'm from Chicago, and I came here to Germany about 16 years ago. 16 years I've been here. I live in Aachen. And who's from Aachen? Great city.
Not really from Aachen, but I'm there quite often.
Aachen's a great city. It's.
I'm studied it.
You study at RWTH, okay. I also teach at the RWTH. I teach positive education in the Lehrbildungszentrum. I teach future teachers something called Schulfach Glück, which some of you who are mothers and fathers know about this. It's coming to Germany. It's part of positive psychology, what we're going to talk about tonight. So I'm going to give you a statistic here. Or not a statistic. I'm going to give you something my mother said to me when I was growing up. It's in German, by the way. Some of my slides are in German. She didn't say this in German, actually. She's English. You want to read it?
You want me to read?
Sure, read it.
Menschen werden vergessen, was du gesagt hast. Menschen werden vergessen, was du getan hast. Doch sie werden niemals vergessen, was sie durch dich gefühlt haben.
We hold on to feelings. Boy, people affect us. And some people it affects more than other people. but we hold on to how people make us feel. How your partner makes you feel, how your boss makes you feel, how your parents make you feel. That's a biggie, huh? How our parents make us feel. We hold on to that stuff, okay? And in America, you know, we have this feeling story. When we feel bad, we go to a therapist. We have therapy, a therapeuten. We love therapy. This is an American phenomenon. We love therapy. 1 in 3 people in America have been to a therapist in the last 3 years. We love it. It's small talk for us. It's like, hey, what happened at your therapist today? You know, as a matter of fact, if you don't go to therapy in America, you're crazy. It's a very different story. Here, therapy is looked at as a taboo, or it used to be. But you know what? I know the therapists in Aachen. There's a 4-month waiting list for the therapists in Aachen. Nobody talks about it, but something's up. Something's up, all right? So my mom always said this. I love my mother. Beautiful lady. She's 84 years old. Well, she'll be 84. And I was on this stage last time in January, for those of you who saw me, and I talked about my mother. Very interesting. Can you read this, please? Some statistics.
Über 2750 wissenschaftliche Studien, die sich mit dem Thema Glück befassten, mit mehr als 750.000 Menschen weltweit, haben festgestellt, dass Glücklichsein zum Erfolg in jedem Lebensbereich führt. Gesundheit, Ehe, Freundschaft, Geselligkeit, Kreativität, gesellschaftliches Engagement.
Okay. So, there it is. It's science. It's science. See, I work with science. You know, Jens had asked me what should my title be, and I said happyologist. But actually, I'm a Glücksforscher. I work with science. What makes people happy? And when people are happy, what is the effect of happiness? Okay, so we're going to talk a lot about that today. All right, let's go into something very interesting. Positive psychology. The science I work with is called positive psychology. Who in here knows about positive psychology other than him? He knows, we're friends, he knows. That's it? Nobody knows what positive psychology is?
A little bit.
A little, okay. It's not, let me tell you what it's not. It's not positive thinking. I always tell people, hey, positive psychology, you know what that is? Oh yeah, positive thinking. No, has nothing to do with thinking. It's positive doing. Okay? What do we do to make ourselves happy? Do. Giving, for example, makes us happy. Right? Giving. Driving on the Autobahn here at 240 makes some men and women happy. Okay? It's doing. It's not just thinking about positive psychology. It's doing it. All right, positive psychology started in a little bit of where it started, 1999, around 1999, 1998. And basically, psychology deals with disease. Positive psychology deals with more about strengths and how people aufblühen, how people flourish. Okay, psychology was very good. It helped a lot of people. Post-traumatic stress syndrome people, it helps. It's cured 14 diseases, psychology. I have nothing against psychology, but this is the next step. So it started in the 90s, relatively a young science, and as you could see, the first class was offered at Harvard. There was one student in that class back then. It wasn't me. And today, you can't get in that class. Okay. Maastricht University offers a class now, positive psychology. So it's an academic study. All right. Amsterdam, I was there last year. I was in Rosenheim last year as well. I met one of my heroes in Rosenheim, Martin Seligman, who I'm going to talk about a little later. He's the begründer of positive psychology. All right, so that's a little when it started and a little progress of positive psychology. All right, let's talk about what it is, the history of positive psychology. All right, so like I said, it started out with with psychology, with this nice gentleman here. I'm sure you all know him. Can you read this for me?
I don't have my glasses on.
That's right. Go for it. Go for it.
Heiler psychischer Erkrankungen. Und dann steht da Vergangenheitsbewältigung, Reparieren der Schwächen.
So, okay, so this is what psychology does. Okay, this is what the focus has been. It's focusing on strengths. It's like bringing people from a -8 to a -2. It corrects, it helps you feel better, but it doesn't make you happy. This is psychology. Now, I don't want to ask who has a therapist here because it's probably a little embarrassing, but I had a therapist for 20 years in America. Like I said, it was a normal story. I had a therapist off and on for 20 years. You might ask why? Well, anybody who listens to you is wonderful. You pay them to listen to you. How cool is that? You know? So, and I grew up in a very interesting way. I grew up in my grandfather, I'll just say this, my grandfather's from Sicily. You do the math. Okay? So, in the 90s, Martin Seligman came in and said this.
Fokus heute, wie Menschen aufblühen. Forschungsrichtung, und was macht das Leben lebenswert?
Okay? So what Martin Seligman did was he said, what makes people happy? What makes them flourish? This word is flourish in English. It's a beautiful word. And he went back in history and he looked at all the old books and all the old philosophies and the religious philosophies. And he tried to codifizieren wellness. What does wellness look like? And he put it into 5 things. We need 5 things to aufblühen, to flourish. Okay? And I'm going to talk about those 5 things. Actually, I'm going to talk about one of those things because we don't have a lot of time. But I'm going to talk about one of the most important things. So here's Martin Seligman's book. If anybody's interested in learning about positive psychology, this is the newest book. It's called Aufblühen in English and German. So wonderful read, lots of science, good stuff. So he came up with this model of well-being, and he called it PERMA. PERMA. So there are 5 elements of PERMA. It's not rocket science. It's pretty simple. So PERMA has 5 things. Positive emotions. Positive emotions. What makes us feel good? And when we feel good, what is the effect of that? You know, I coach at companies, and I always tell employers, the owners, the Führungskräfte, when your employees feel good, they will do better. They'll be more productive, they'll be more efficient, they'll be more effective, they'll be weniger abwesend, less absent, they'll be more loyal, they'll be more lösungsorientiert. I mean, it's logical, right? And you'll make more money. The company owners will make more money. Easy. Engagement, strengths. When we're working in our strengths, we're happy. I'm in my strength right now. This is what I do. You can't see it, but I'm happy inside. Okay? Strengths. When we're working in our strengths, we're happy. Relationships, positive relationships. What is a positive relationship? You 2 guys are together.
Yes.
Would you call your relationship positive?
Yes.
Well, come on up on the stage and let's test it. What is a positive relationship? What does it mean? Well, a lot of science out there says that it's not about the support you give your partner, it's about how you react in good times with your partner. Very interesting. All right? I'm not going to talk about that today because that's for the next time. And meaning. Meaning is purpose. Why are we here? Why are you here? Why are you on this earth? You know, what's your spec here? What are you doing here? Why are you all here in my living room? Why are you here? Have you ever asked yourself that? And do I have a purpose in life? Well, your purpose probably is to give and to be connected with the community. That's your purpose. Whether it's at work, whether it's family, whether it's in a club. Germany has the most clubs of any other country per capita. Yeah, there's a club for everything here.
Vereinswesen.
Fines. Yeah, they have the most clubs of any other country. Because people need to be connected. This is a lot with purpose. Our purpose, part of our purpose is to be together here today. It's part of our purpose. Something brought us here today. Right? All right, and then accomplishments, which is very interesting. Looking back, what did I accomplish in my life? You know, a lot of people compare themselves to their neighbors. Oh, look, Frankie got a new Porsche. This Neid story. Comparison, Vergleichungen. I'm telling you, it's a killer. In science, they say, if you can't be thankful and grateful for what you are and what you have, it's going to be very dangerous to compare, really. So accomplishments, I use accomplishments as comparing who I was to who I am today. I compare, but I compare me to me 10 years ago. I never thought I would be standing on this stage. What a wonderful thing. That's the comparison, and I feel good when I compare that way. But if I go, it doesn't help. You know, it doesn't get me anywhere. It makes me aggravated, and I see it. I see it here. I'm not saying Germany is big on comparisons, but I see a lot of people do that here. I live here. They do it everywhere, but I live here. No? What I want to talk about today, I'm going to pick one of these, and I'm just going to talk about it today, and then you have the option to meet me in a few weeks here for the others. I'm going to talk about positive emotions. All right. There's a lot of studies about positive emotions. What happens when we have positive emotions? Now, a lot of people think that when I talk about positivity, that I want you to vermeiden or avoid negativity. Negativity is good. It's a good story. We need it. Matter of fact, these guys actually needed it way back when times were, old. You needed a little negativity, aggression. You needed to eat or not be eaten. Okay, we needed to attack or to have fear and run away. We need these negative emotions, right? If I'm standing in the middle of the street and I see a car coming towards me, I need to get out of the way. Fear tells me to get out of the way, right? And back in those days, if you had two people standing there, two cavemen standing there, and they heard something in the bush, and one of them says, "It's a poisonous snake. I'm out of here." And the other one said, "It's a butterfly." Guess what? The guy who ran, his generation lived. Okay? So it really served its purpose. The guy who thought it was a butterfly, he wasn't around anymore. So we needed fear back then. We're not in that anymore. We don't need fear and aggression in that sense. Okay? So Barbara Seligman, Barbara Fredrickson is the woman who basically wrote a book on positivity. Another book I recommend, that's her and I in Amsterdam, when she was up there, and she came up with a theory. And she calls her theory broaden and build. Okay? Broaden and build. So her broadening theory looks like this. How am I in time?
5 minutes left.
Yeah, okay, sure. Okay, positivity opens us. We see more. Okay? She says it makes us more creative. Okay? When we're open, like this lily here, this water lily, we see more. We have more creative options. Now, this is what positivity does. Medical benefits, we're healthier. Positivity lowers our stress level. It lowers our blood pressure. Okay. We are more connected to others. We don't see differences in other people. Very interesting study. She had two groups of people. A control group and a group that was positively she primed them with positivity. She made them happy. And she had them look at a picture. And later, described the picture. The control group said there were 5 women, 1 black person, a Chinese, and 3 children. The positively primed group said there were 5 people, 6 people. They didn't see color. They didn't see ethnicity. Okay? They saw the bigger picture. They didn't isolate cultures. So basically, positivity broadens your scope of nationalities and cultures. Okay. All right, the second thing she said was positivity actually makes us more better. It transforms us for the better. All right. 3 things she said here, I'll go through this really quickly. Biological makeup, it actually changes on a cellular level how we look at things. Bounce back, Widerstandsfähigkeit. Positivity, if we're positive people get well quicker after sickness. Children who were positively primed before tests, they were asked to think about what they're grateful for. What are you grateful for? And then take a test. They performed than children who weren't primed positively. So we actually perform better academically when we're positive. All right, coming to the end here. Everybody with me? My English okay?
Yeah.
Cool. So how much positivity is enough? This is a very interesting thing. We need 3 to 1 positive to negative emotions to be quit. 3 to 1. That's how strong a negative emotion is. We need 5 to 1 to flourish, to aufblühen. Now I ask you, how many negative to positive emotions you had today? If we went through the list of things, and you come up with 1 negative, you're going to need 3 of them just to cancel it out. Okay, it's an amazing story how heavy negativity is here. Yeah. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna end here with a couple of things you could take away with. Some habits. Changing your habits so you can go home right now and start these up to feel better. Number 1, write a thank you email in the morning. Einfach so. Write a thank you email. Tomorrow morning you can write me a thank you email. Write a thank you email every morning. Start it as a new habit. Okay, you can always thank somebody. Yeah. Those of you who are in meetings once a week, twice a month, whatever, start and end your meetings with positivity. I call it the hamburger technique. You got a positive, you talk about the daily stuff that you have to talk about, and then end it with a positive. Okay, very simple. Random acts of kindness. Plötzlich geben. Person at work, get him a coffee. Get him a sandwich. Just give. We're happier when we're giving. Okay. Get out at lunch. Get out at lunch, you people. Don't stand at Facebook. Don't do your Facebook account and all those social networking. It's your time. Get away from the office. All right. The end of the day, the end of the workday, write 3 things that went well that day. Before you leave work, write 3 things that went well that day. Open up a word program and end your day before you walk out of your office. Think about your successes. Okay? So you started your workday with a thank you. You ended your workday with 3 successes. Breathe. Easy one. Don't forget to breathe. Savor, genießen. Genießen. And finally, gratefuls. Okay? Every night before I go to sleep, my partner and I, we lay in bed and we say 3, 4, 5 gratefuls to each other. Before we think about the day, and then we go, like a little video in our head, we think about the day, and she'll say, I'm grateful for the coffee you made me this morning. Or I'm grateful that my dad was in a good mood. She works with her father. And I say I'm grateful that, this will be one of my gratefuls tonight. I'm grateful that I was able to speak in front of people. And then we kiss and we go to sleep. That's how we end our day. I start my day with thank yous. I have 3 emails every morning, thank you emails. And I end every day with gratefuls. I've been doing this for 2.5 years. And I can tell you, I'm a lot happier than I was before. I'm a happy person anyway, but I see now, I look for things to be grateful for. Okay? All right. You're going to kick me off stage?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
My fourth last thing here is I talked to Jens earlier today, and I would like to do a Vortrag here in a couple of weeks. It's the 15th of July, here Wednesday night in this room at 19 o'clock. And I'm going to talk about relationships. The PERMA model. I talked about positive emotions. That day I'm going to talk about relationships. And all of the relationships with your partner. I'm going to talk about what is a positive relationship. Maybe you guys might want to join me. If you want some. Okay? All right. That's it.